Right, it's a cold and frosty one, but it's time for the greenhouse build. Welcome back. There we go, in all its glory. Boxed, it's been brought up to the plot. 10 by 6 foot greenhouse, polycarbonate. So, I brought some, this is the other angle, that's where it's going to go. But anyway, I brought some membrane down. So I'm going to put membrane down first. And then I'm going to put the base on top and then secure the base in the ground, and then build the rest of the frame on top of that. But I want to make the base first, get that leveled off, and on top of the membrane, which will avoid any weed growth through and stuff like that. And then around the outsides here are going to be barked anyway, where I've pulled the bark back, it's going to be rebarked. Yeah, let's crack on. So as you can see, I've put the membrane down. I've just been having a cup of coffee and looking at the first couple of pages of this instruction book. I mean, it looks pretty detailed with the parts numbered and stuff like that. So the next step is to get the base sorted. It's an absolutely beautiful day. It's still very chilly. Well, I take it all back. Well, I don't. The parts are numbered quite well. Instructions are okay. But with big goalkeeper hands like me and big fat fingers, it's very fiddly trying to get the nuts and bolts in. However, I'll show you what's there. There you go. So I've put this frame in, loosely bolted. I've not tightened them up yet, just so it keeps it together. But that's the base frame in with the corner pieces that go in the ground, and obviously I want to get some extra things just to actually secure this into the ground as well. But as you can see, I sort of underestimated the amount of space I've actually got here for this greenhouse. But I do want this size greenhouse. I don't want to keep a gap here, so I can get the other side, clean the glass and things like that, and met a couple of water butts. These will probably change, but it means that so this is going to be the entrance to the greenhouse here. This is going to be the door. So yeah, it looks like I'm going to be moving some more beds, doesn't it? Then, as you can see, these compost bays here, if I leave it like this, they're not going to have any access. So I think what I'm going to have to do is flip them there, so I've got access from the back, and then this will be basically a solid wall. That's going to be another big job. Didn't bank on doing the compost heap. But let's go and have a look around this side. Collection of items for projects here. But yeah, so I did have some flowers planted here. Did have sunflowers last year. Did try tomatoes here last year as well, but the tomatoes are now going to be in the greenhouse and over the other side here. So yeah, I think what's probably going to have to happen here is these compost bays are going to have to be rebuilt with the access to this side. Did not bank on that. So it's a few days later, and we've had a few hard frosts at night, sub-zero temperatures. I was just explaining here, because the sound completely failed on this clip, sadly, that I ran out of time, I ran out of light. And my aim today was to get these raised beds moved. Well, as you can see, that was a complete fail. Let me show you how hard the ground is. I think you can hear that. Yeah. That's not, it's not happening today, is it? But yeah, so this, I think what I'm going to do is, this is going to go, get these into pots, reuse them somewhere else, possibly hang in baskets or troughs. And then this whole thing is just basically going to move up to here, which will give me this room that I need here from the front of the greenhouse. But yeah, I can't do anything until that ground softens. So it's a few days later, back at the plot. It's about 5-6 days, and the sub-zero temperatures have subsided at night. Remember, the beds were frozen, the beds that I needed to move for the greenhouse project. So let's crack on with that. We've got to get it done. Okay, so as you can see, the tree is back in. Let me show you a bit closer. Okay, so tree back in. Now I've used one of the smaller pallet collars here because I did try the larger one, but it was just it just came out too much here, and then I needed some walkways for the path and things like that, and I wanted to be able to get in and out the greenhouse quite easily. This is going to be the door to the greenhouse, and I might have a couple of herb beds outside the greenhouse, which might be quite nice. So I wanted to keep it a little bit free, but I think it looks nice. It's replanted, put a bit of bloodfish and bone in there, replanting it. It's a good time to move and plant fruit trees at the moment because they are dormant. So see, I've sort of restaked it because it does get windy quite along from the downs there right the way down here. So yeah, so that is all done. I'm going to top dress it with some compost and get a few strawberries in. I won't be able to get as much in as I would like, so the strawberries are going to need to have a rethink of where they're going to go, maybe more in the fruit garden. I'm going to get some, level this out a little bit and then rake it down a bit, and then I'm going to get a bit more membrane down here, and yeah, then I can continue with this build here. I think that's a job well done. Well, not quite done yet. Got these strawberries to go, haven't I? But anyway, let's crack on with it. Okay, so let me show you what I have done. Okay, membranes are down here. Obviously you need to, I'm going to rebark all this obviously once the greenhouse base is done. Yeah, that is going to be from when I come back after my next trip. But at least this big area is done now. So this has all been replanted. Apple tree moved. Put some strawberry plants in there, and obviously I top dressed that with some compost first and put some bloodfish and bone in there. And then I had lots of strawberries left over, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. I think I'm going to put them in troughs or something like that, but I need to get some more compost. But for now I have popped them in here, so they had some spare space in this brassica bed. Not going to stay there, they're just basically in limbo, in waiting for a little home. So that is where they're living for now. Right, I'm getting myself home now, getting a nice hot cup of tea. I'll see you in a few days time. I've got a 6-day trip to Sao Paulo next, and then I'm back for 3 days. I'm going to crack straight on with that greenhouse, and there'll be more progress, so stay tuned for that. Give me the thumbs up on the video, that would be really, really great. See you very, very soon.